And I thought one of the powerful points that you touched on was how there's still this lack of participation for women available in politics. And I was just curious, how did you try and break that cycle and increase jobs for women?
In politics, you mean?
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah, I mean, really, the jobs are there. The question is, will women raise their hand to be able to run? And women often feel like, I don't want to be involved in politics because it's so negative, or I'll let the guy go. I'll let it because I don't want to talk about myself all the time. And the reality is, you have to convince women that it's not about them, that it's really about the cause that they believe in. If they want to change the world for their children or for, to make things better, then they shouldn't be thinking so egocentrically. They should be thinking about the cause. And having women at the table is really important to make policy effective. When I was governor, I used to give, there were two women in the legislature, one a Democrat, one a Republican. I always gave the toughest bills that I wanted to pass to them because they would do the hard work in the back rooms, making the compromises that were necessary. They didn't want to put themselves up front. Not to be stereotypical, but they just didn't have the ego in it, but they wanted to see results. Without women at the table making that legislation happening, then we miss out on a huge sector of fixing the society the way it should be.
And you said several times during the lecture that women tend to feel that they need to be invited into the political process, and you were indeed one of those people who got invited to start. How hard is it to go from that self doubt mentality into stepping into that leadership role?
Yeah, I think that the way it becomes easier is when you remind people that it's not about you. And that's for women or men. I mean, there's a lot of men who may be shy or may not see themselves as putting themselves out front. But if they believe in something and they want to see some change, and that change can only come through legislation in some way, then not stepping up, not fulfilling, a calling, is really a huge waste of of their talents. And they're put here. We're all put here to do something better and to make this, to leave the campsite cleaner than we found it. And if you don't do your part, then someone else has to step up. So it's only right that we all should step up.
One final question for you. I have to ask an Elon related question, and this is kind of one of the more unusual law schools in the country in that it is very leadership focused. What about Elon Law do you like?
Love the fact that Elon Law is experiential and that it has a leadership curriculum. There's no other law school that I'm aware of that really is focused on churning out leaders, people who will change the world, and that they can do a bit of that while they're here. It's extraordinary.